Hey there, welcome to the Mentored Engineer. Excited you're here. We're going to be talking some more about our PID PLC control system. This is getting exciting for me at least. And what we've done is we've, first of all, neatened up everything in here, and it looks so much better than it did. Look at the before picture. Look at the after picture. Oh, yeah. All right. Then we went and added 3 proc switches. So we got 2 here. We got 1 there. And then we have the home one that we had last time. So now we've gone and incorporated all of the proc switches in there with the program. And we're coming up with a steady loop of what's going to happen. Now, we've also added what happens when things don't go as planned. We call those error codes. So we've added some in there. We're going to talk about that. Hey, before I forget, this is the last video in this series that is going to be available to the public. After this, everything goes to members only. So please sign up, members only. Just scroll down there, click that join button, give it a like and a subscribe as well. Listen, guys, I don't like asking for money. So without your support, this just ain't going to happen. So please scroll down. Hit join. Hey, if you don't like that either, scroll down and leave me in the comment area there. Okay, right, but you can discuss your severe dislike of me. Okay, so what are we doing now? So we're going to look here at our stage view. Now, you remember, stages are a certain section of code, which is the only set of code I'm looking at. So when I'm launching, I'm looking at various parameters, like has it gone too far? Am I in the right profile? Am I following my trapezoidal shape that we discussed in the last video? Right up there. And things of that nature. At the same time, it's ignoring everything else. So I don't need to be worried about rehoming my machine and sending it back. It's already done that. We're not worried about that anymore. We're just worried about going forward. So this simplifies our code a lot and allows us to ignore tons of stuff. At the end of every stage, though, you need a gate. You need to say, okay, we're completed this stage. We're going to go on to the next stage. So when I'm going to the max, and I hit both max proxies, I don't just sit there forever, right? Or I don't just keep going. I just say stop. Okay, and go back. We're going to find the min now. So that's a gate. All right, and you may have multiple gates. Some of these gates have lead to error messages. All right, still a gate, but it goes on a different path. If you can imagine, you come to a fork in the road, and hey, I gotta choose different things. And if there's a gate at each one, hey, I gotta open the gate, go through it. They all lead to different paths. So some may go to the path I want. Some may go to an error code. So let's look at this here in the stage level. You can see here, my main one is going to be where I start, and I'm going to do a set command where I permanently capture my E-step job. Now here is my stages. This is the overview, and it tells me what stage is active at any given time. So here's my main stage. This is where we start off at. And I have here a set command that looks at the e-stop check. Now, the checkerboard ones are referring to, hey, this thing's somewhere else that'll be active. So in this case, it is right here, stage 10, and it's always checking the e-stop check. There's never a time that it's not doing that. So right here, we're also jumping to ready to home, and that's a stage here where it's ready to say, okay, I'm going to confirm everything is clear, and we're going to go ahead and rehome it. When that's complete, we're going to jump to the go to max command. So where is that? That's right over here. And when that's complete, it's going to go to the go to minimum. When that's complete, it's going to move off of the proc switch. So let us go back down and look at this as it's going to happen. So we're going to go into run here. And look at that. Main is now not active, and we're doing our e-stop check, and we're ready to home. So here I'm going to turn on my e-stop, and I'm going to go launch my launch dog. And it's going to look for these two proximity switches. Now it's going to the go to minimum. And pretty soon here, it's going to go to the move off the proc switch. Here we go. And it's looking for the station. It also did this quick check just to make sure everything's clear and we're ready to run before we get to the launch stage, which is where we currently are. So this just took, one CPU scan. It was very quick. Ideally, I'm going to want something like, if you have multiple operators, you're going to make sure that there's a track sweep in there before that, and then it'll say the station's clear, and then we'll go ahead into the launch stage where I will press the button here. And we're launching it. Whee! Everybody's having fun. Yeehaw! Obviously, it'll be faster. Once it's done here at the launch, it's going to go and hit both proc switches, and then it's going to reset as well. Now, why do I have two proc switches up here? Well, they serve different functions, but they are redundant, so that's a big plus. Safety. Somehow we want safety in this. So, the first one here has a different function than the second one. The first one says, okay, you've gotten this far. We need to stop the motor. It should no longer be turning, and we're going to coast down. All right, the second one here is, you've coasted too far. We're actually going to brake it. We're going to do that, not mechanically, but electronically. Don't get all excited. It's not all that thrilling. What we're going to do is we're going to turn our motor into a generator and put a resistive load on it. In our case, it's going to be, I think it's like 7 or 8 ohms. So pretty high resistive load. It'll almost lock that thing solid. And we basically tell it, you have to create enough power to move this through the momentum that you have slowing down. And there's not much there. So it's going to stop pretty much, act as a brake. Cool. All right, so we ran it through a cycle here, and it came back. Now let's look at some of our error codes. So in the launch section here, we're going to go down, and we see launch overshoot. So if I'm launching, that's this one right here. If I'm launching and either of these are hit as I'm launching, it's going to throw up an error code. So let's do that. All right, so you can see here that it's active. And you can see here that it says, let's see, launch overshot high 1 or high 2 procs, return to home. That's a great question. Why would we want to return to home? Well, it may be an error. We may not be all the way past it. If we are all the way past it, the launch went all the way, and that cart's gone anyway. All right, so we'll worry about that in a second. So if it's not gone, the cart may still be sitting right here. We're just going to slowly move it back into the home position and deal with it that way. So that's kind of a fail-safe as well. So we're going to go ahead and clear that, and then it's going to return and set itself back up. Now, another error here that I want to show you is this one that says high 1 procs not found. And that will occur if I am homing for the maximum and I don't hit this one, but I hit the second one. All right, it says I should have gotten a procs there, but I haven't. So why is that? And let's fix that. So here I'm going to launch it. And after it launches, I'm going to quickly hit this one. All right. So it says high proximity switch not found. Gives me an error there. So at this point, it does what I want it to do, and it gives me an error and says, hey, something's wrong here. Now, it may have just been a fluke. It may have been going too fast. It didn't catch it. So what it's going to do when I clear this is it's going to look for that switch, the high prox one, station, or that one. Or it's got a timer on it. If that timer gets active, then it will say, hey, something's not right here, and we're going to kind of shut down. So if it hits this one, though, it's going to send itself back home. It says, I got the signal I wanted. Boom. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now it's going to go back and rehome itself and get ready for launch. So that is what our control system is doing now. We're getting very close to a reliable system. I've got a few more edge cases to work out. Those are cases that happen sporadically or rare enough that can cause problems, but we want to make sure there's a plan in place to capture it. And then we got to work on the error code, so that's the next thing. And then the final thing is we're going to incorporate our capacitor charging. Now, I did a great video about our capacitor charging up here. You can go see it. It's awesome. So we're going to start incorporating that so that our motor runs on only the capacitors and not the charge main power supply that we have. So we're going to start separating those two and make it more and more like our real coaster. So exciting. Hey, remember, go ahead and join below because the last video of this series on how we're building our coaster that is available to the public. So it's $4 a month, you know, just do it. Remember, leave your snarky comments in the comments section below. Give a like and subscribe. And we thank you for watching The Mentored Engineer. Have a great day and get started building your own coaster, man. This is fun as crap. Let's do it. Come on. Do it. Stop sitting and watching this. Just do it. Are you still here? Go back.